Joining me now is William Taylor, former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. It's always good to see you, Ambassador. I want to read to you what John Kirby had to say when he was asked about this just a short time ago and Putin's comments. He described him as vacuous and said this is not a man who anyone should take seriously when it comes to saying he's ready for a negotiated settlement. Are you as skeptical as John Kirby?
I am, Chris. I am. The Ukrainians have some experience negotiating with Vladimir Putin from 2014 up until 2022 when they invaded. 2014 was, of course, when they first invaded, and then 2022 when they had the big invasion. There were these peace talks that went on in Minsk, Belarus. The Germans and the French helped co-sponsor these. And every time there was some agreement, in particular on ceasefires, Chris, as we're talking about here, the Russians violated them. So the Ukrainians are very skeptical about ceasefires, in particular, when they don't have the guarantee that the Russians won't invade again.
So what do you see as anything, or is there anything that could bring these two sides to the table? We haven't heard, by the way, from Ukraine yet.
We haven't, although in the past week or two, President Zelensky has indicated that, again, if he has security guarantee, if he has some reason to believe that the West, the NATO, the United States will defend him if Russia invades again, then he said he's willing to have these conversations. That's a big request, and he's not going to take just a promise. He's had some experience with that too. So President Zelensky might be serious if he can get that security guarantee. President Putin has said he'd be willing to negotiate in the past, and his conditions are Ukraine surrenders. Ukraine gives up territory that the Russians don't even control at this point. So it's hard to take that seriously. However, we know he's under pressure. We know that Putin is under pressure. As you say, he's losing troops dramatically, horribly. Now even losing North Korean troops, 1,000 a day. So there's a lot of pressure on him to look for a way out. Maybe this is his look.
You know very well, in just a few weeks, Donald Trump will be back in the White House. What do you think the implications of a new administration are? Do you think U.S. financial and military support are cut? Or could people like Marco Rubio, assuming he's confirmed, mean that U.S. policies could hold?
It's a great question. And we've heard from Senator Rubio. We've heard from General Kellogg, who is the negotiator, designated envoy from the new administration to Ukraine. And they've got some different ideas. Some of those ideas, actually, Chris, are stronger than the current administration. That is, General Kellogg has said that if, in order to get Putin to the table, he would arm Ukraine in a way that would drive Putin to come to the table. So we don't yet know really what that's going to do, but there may be some leverage that the new administration has on Putin. And again, the pressure needs to come on Putin to give it some indication that he's coming to the table seriously, that with some serious discussions.
We're out of time, but I want to ask you really quickly about something that you may or may not have heard from Mike Memoli. The president is going to see the Pope in Rome, but he's also going to be meeting with Giorgia Meloni. Could that conversation be fruitful toward this end?
Could well be. As you've indicated, the Italian premier has been very supportive of Ukraine. And so if you're looking for a third party, not the Slovaks, but it could be the Italians, it could be others, but Meloni is a strong supporter of Ukraine, so that could be a good conversation.
Ambassador Bill Taylor, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris, and to you.